This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
So Donald Trump is still whining and complaining about Jimmy Kimmel's joke over the last weekend for the Oscars. I think it was last weekend, right? And Jimmy Kimmel took to his show last night and just absolutely dunked on Trump in a series of bits that I think are very funny, with some manipulated video. It's just obviously manipulated. They're not trying to make it think it's Trump. It's very funny, though. And I want to share it with you because any chance we have a moment to take a break from the soul-crushing oppression that the Republican Party is trying to foist upon us, trying to implement, trying to alter our culture to mirror their white Christian nationalism. Anytime we can take a break from worrying about that to have a laugh, especially at Donald Trump's expense, I'm there for it. So I'm going to play this. This is a little longer of a clip than I normally play, but it's not even the full thing. I'll link below to the actual Jimmy Kimmel, the full monologue, and there are some zingers in there that are worth watching. But this particular section is what I want to share with you. So stand by.
What is up with you and Jimmy Kimmel? Because during the Academy Awards, you posted, has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? Less than an average person trying too hard. And he then read that on the air and then took a crack at you. You getting even with him.
And what else did I say? I said some other pretty good things.
What were you getting even with him for all his anti-Trump jokes?
George Slobodopoulos.
Yeah, so proud of himself for typing out George Slobodopoulos, which not only is that a lame nickname, George Stephanopoulos is like the opposite of sloppy. I mean, look at he's fit, he's clean, he's muscular, he's smart. Hey, if you're looking for Slobodopoulos, I mean, this is your sloppy doppy right there. That's, I mean, come on now. He's in his head. But I digress. I was trying to make this about me.
No, look, Jimmy Kimmel is every night, he hits me, I guess. His ratings are terrible. He's not a talented guy. I hear he hits me all the time, so I figured I'd hit him because I thought he was a lousy host.
By the way, I was at my niece and nephew's music recital when I got this video. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, Donald Trump has said I'm not talented so many times, Erica's starting to get jealous, but what he doesn't realize is that I love this. I love that this bothered him so much. I love that Fox picked a news guy nobody knows to interview him, and I especially love when he tries to spin the fact that everyone was laughing at him into a positive.
I put it out on Truth, which is on fire, by the way. Truth Social is doing great. I never expected he was going to be reading it. Just prior to the movie of the year, which is the big one, right? That's the big one. I think they get the man, the woman, now the movie of the year. He reads my Truth on air. He reads exactly what you read. And now the big story is that they all begged him not to do it, don't do it. Right. He probably stupidly, he had to act in a short period of time, like minutes, right? He had minutes because he's on air. He sees this thing, and he wants to go out there and he wants to, I guess, confront me in a so. And he ends up reading my Truth. I said, this guy's even dumber than I thought. The thing went viral. It's been all over the world now. And all he had to do is keep his mouth shut.
Yeah. And by the way, you forget why it went viral all over the world.
Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still... Isn't it past your jail time?
Barbie was laughing at you. Not only were they laughing at you on Oscar Sunday, there are now dozens of past your jail time shirts for sale. There are mugs. There are tank tops. There's an Isn't It Past Your Jail Time backpack. People are writing it outside the Trump Hotel. There are billboards. There are billboards in Pennsylvania, in Florida, and there are a lot more to come. But if only I kept my mouth shut. Imagine him telling anyone they should have kept their mouth shut. I mean, that should be on his tombstone. Should have kept his mouth shut. And by the way, I'm not... Hey, maybe, you know what? Maybe you're right about me being dumb. You know, we should take one of those cognitive tests or an IQ test together. Or maybe we could sit down for a long game of Scrabble and find out who has the biglier brain. I would love that. I would love to do that with you. But I get it. He's wounded and he's lashing out. And even though I know his intent was to hurt me, I'm going to focus on the positive things he said.
Now, look, Jimmy Kimmel every night is doing great. He's a talented guy. He's not dumber than I thought.
Thank you. You know what? It's very big of you to admit that. And I'm sorry I ruined your Sunday night with Melania. I know how many great late night talks you two have.
Our country is being overrun by criminals, by murderers, by drug addicts. They're all coming in through Joe Biden's horrible open border. There's never been a border like this anywhere in the world at any time. He is a disaster as a president. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand how bad it is. It's so bad, the whole world is talking about it. There's never been a case like this.
It does bring to mind something that I find very humorous, amusing, we'll say, is how many companies and journalistic outlets has Donald Trump claimed to have terrible ratings, or the failing New York Times, or the Atlantic getting ready to go out of business. And here we are nearly 10 years later, and they're going strong. So Donald Trump is a liar. He just says whatever. What do you think Donald Trump has any understanding or knowledge of Jimmy Kimmel's actual ratings? And do you think Jimmy Kimmel has had a job for decades now as one of the most successful late night hosts because he has bad ratings, because he's not talented? It's just projection. And Donald Trump, it does matter. The reason he's obsessed is because this does bother him. This grates on him. And it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this right now, to talk about it, because I know that it bothers him. The thin-skinned mental weakling. He is incapable of having any thought about anything other than what benefits him and what makes him look bad, even though he looks like he looks, and still wants to be perceived as a smart man, as a rich man, as a strong man, as all of the things that he is not, and he projects. It's a bizarre shit show that we have millions of people who will install him as a dictator when he is just an absolute, abject fucking fraud. Are people... well, I'm going to leave it there. Go on ranting and raving. But what do you think about this? Did Jimmy Kimmel go? Did he go too far? Did he hurt your little president's feelings out there? The trolls who are most certainly watching, who call me multiple times a day and demand debates. You idiots. If you want to debate so bad, people, trolls, if you want to make your little snarky comments, one, get some skill and do it with some level of acuity. That would be great. But also, if you're that dead set on it, make your own YouTube channel. It's very easy to do what I do, right? You think you could best me. Anyway, now I'm just ranting at the invisible people that I'll never address directly. And I'm just done it, so what are you going to do? What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me as always, daily at Dollemore.com. I'm sure I'm going to hear from those morons again today, multiple times probably. If you want to help support my work, trolls, or good and decent people who watch my content for the right reasons, you can click the join button below this YouTube video, become a channel member for $2 a month. You've heard me say it a million times, or at least hundreds. You can also go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to get involved, help support independent media. And if I'm your flavor of political commentator, I would appreciate it. You can follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore on Twitter and Instagram and Threads and TikTok and Facebook and Blue Sky, all of them. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.